Greetings, traveler.
Yes, greetings, travelers. Oh my goodness.
For those of you in the US that celebrate, it's the day after Thanksgiving, aka shopping day, aka Black Friday, aka really when I eat most of my turkey leftover
Yeah.
sandwiches, because that is
So,
probably my favorite part of Thanksgiving is leftovers.
yep, leftover sandwiches and buying giant screen TVs on super discount. That is what
Yes,
everybody does today.
yes.
So, we did a recent one and bought it Amazon. It got shipped by Best Buy. It took like 3 weeks to get here because we're in the mountains and Best Buy's nearest one is miles away from us. I was like, "This is probably not gonna end well," but they came, and I was very happy with the Geek Squad. Thanks again for, bringing us a big TV for Black Friday.
Yeah, no, I'm all about that kind of stuff. I do a lot of my online shopping over this weekend for the holidays, for the different celebrations that my friends have. And this year, I am gearing up with my family. We are going to do a Yule celebration because
Yes.
one of my in-laws has this amazing property. So we're all going to make Yule logs and then bonfire them. So I'm very excited about that.
That's nice. Our little, town oddity store that just opened had a grand opening. We threw some of our books in there. Carrie put some of her crochet in there, but they're doing a Krampus night festival probably where they're just going to tell stories. I'll probably come down if I'm feeling up to it. We'll come down and tell a ghost story or two as part of that. So that should be fun.
I like that. So, I think you should just show up randomly at that oddity shop and just read stories, just randomly,
Just
just
randomly
not
just
even
show up.
invited, just show up, sit down in a chair, read a story.
I might do that. There, it's an amazing shop, strange and unusual curiosities in Franklin, North Carolina. So there you go, gang. Um,
I love that. I
Yep,
love that.
and then lastly, just one quick thing. I was in retail for, 30 years. So for those of you on the front lines in retail, we salute you. We understand Black Friday is Black Friday. The whole weekend is crazy, but we believe in you. You can do it. I made it through, you can too.
Yes, 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 and then I have to say, regardless if you celebrate Thanksgiving, I mean, for me, it's a time my family likes to get together and there's really good food, and generally I don't have to cook it, so I'm on board with these things. But I wanna say the thing I'm most thankful for the last couple of years, honestly, on top of everything else, is our listeners. Our listeners are so thoroughly amazing. Our travelers,
Yep.
we absolutely adore all of you. And thank you so much for your support over the last few years. Me and Mark are really working hard to get even more of us out there, so to speak, and more books and more things. So you guys have just made this journey for both of us so much fun. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, it's incredible, and when we meet you all at events and you just tell us how much the show means to you, that just fills our heart with glee. And also the people who've responded about the book. Oh my gosh, we've had some amazing reviews from the book, and it just floors me every time that people like what we do. So
Yes.
it makes us very happy. And then we get so many tales and stories from you all, and so many things. You guys meet us in person and tell us this, and we're getting interviews with some famous people and some just amazing people from all walks of life because you all share and tell people about it. We've gotten some people approached us to be on the show because somebody listened to us and then said, "Hey, you should listen to this, people, and have them on your show." So we've done interviews with them, and then some of them come on us. So it's big circle. We just love you all. We are very thankful.
Yes, agreed. And I ran into a traveler, Mike. So shout out, Mike. You know who you are. Who literally said he started reading the book, and because he listens to us, he could hear our conversations in our voices, and it made the book even funnier. He said he was laughing out loud while laying in bed reading this book, which I'm
Yeah.
sure was just entertaining for everybody else in the room. But
Yeah.
okay, enough
All right.
oodles
Enough
of oodles
enough
of blood.
gushing and Thanksgiving. We are doing some Thanksgiving leftovers. We are gonna indulge because you
Yes.
all sent us letters. Oh my gosh, and tales and stories. And we know these are your favorite episodes because you tell us this. We have it overwhelmingly people tell us these are your favorite episodes.
Absolutely. So, Mark, I'm going to let you kick us off today.
All right. Had nothing to do with the order here again, gang.
That's not true, guys. There's some sort of witchcraft Mark is doing. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm endeavoring in 2026 to figure out Mark's witchcraft on these lists. But let's do this.
All right. All right. Well, this one starts with hi, Erica and Mark. Hi.
Hello.
I met you guys at DragonCon this year and have been listening to the podcast since I got back home. Yay!
Hey.
I'm still catching up. I'm listening to episode 105 now, but I admittedly skipped a few. Yeah, it's fine. We don't expect you to listen to them all, although that means we are a little disappointed in you, but it's okay.
No, we're not. Any episodes you want are wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we know they're not all for everybody. So,
Yes.
uh, but I remember, and in an early episode, Erica had said something about wanting to do an entire episode on Savannah, Georgia. Not sure if that's happened yet or something you may have planned already, but I highly recommend booking a walking tour with Anakia Edenfeld. I'm sure I've mispronounced that. And they sent a link. We'll put that in the notes, or possibly having her guest on the podcast. My mom and I follow her on TikTok, and we did a tour with her on vacation last year, and it was incredible. She really delves into the history behind the haunts and her tours. She only really talks about her own experiences or experiences of people she knows personally rather than the well known sensationalized stories. She's had some folks experience things while on the tours too. Anyway, love what you guys do. Keep the content coming. So I have something to listen to while I'm wandering Appalachia in Fallout 76. Might see you at the Green Ice Festival too, Tristan. Well, Tristan,
Oh,
we hope you bumped
Tristan.
into her. Yeah, at the Green Eyes. I don't know if you introduced yourself or not. That was a day I was having a spell, so I barely remember that festival, but I loved it. I know I had fun. That's all I remember.
No, absolutely. And I will reach out to see if we can have her on our show because I'd love that. We haven't gotten a chance to do the Savannah yet.
No.
Um, and that's one of the upcoming books. So me and Mark, we first did The Dark Heart of the Appalachias. We also wrapped up the dark depths of the Gulf Coast so that we
Yeah,
had
we're
all that
lining that one
stuff
up.
together.
That's yeah,
And
lining that
so
one up.
yeah. And then the next one of the next ones we want to do has to do with that coast. So we will be going, but let's see if we can get her on the show. Appreciate that.
And as for Fallout 76, it's a fun game. I'm glad they added Walton Goggins to it. I guess that's in the beta still, but hopefully soon. I enjoy it. I enjoy that game. It's a lot of fun. I'll be honest, I got out of it for a while, but just like everybody else, I'm kind of picking it up.
Oh, you know me. You know me. I'm back in it. I guess eventually when I'm a little more consistent, I will share on the pod my username and stuff. So if people want to find me, they can come hang out with Erica and Mark in Fallout
Yeah,
76.
I Carrie and I were discussing it. We were watching this one couple play it. They do it cozy style, like his wife is into cozy games, and then he's just the shooter. So what they've been doing is he runs out, grabs all the stuff, and she builds the bases and keeps the camp going and all that, and builds it up nice. They aren't even doing the story. They're just having fun doing that. Any way you play it, that's the beauty of Fallout 76. You can play it any way you want. So
Oh, yeah. I usually end up doing a lot of that with my husband too, and his brother and everybody else we play with because I tend to like things more organized because I have a little bit of OCD when it comes to like what boxes things are put in.
oh, okay. Yep.
And yeah, I can't, the chaos. Um,
Okay. All right. Enough about Fallout 76. Let's move on. Thank you for the letter, Tristan.
yeah, thank you.
And we'll see you on the other side. We'll reach out to them. All right.
Yeah, here we go. Hello, fellow travelers.
Hello.
My husband and I recently talked with you all at Mothman Festival, and as per Erica, I wanted to share my unfortunate sleep paralysis episodes.
Ooh.
I did ask for it, so here we go.
Yep. Uh,
The first story is when I was house sitting my husband's parents' home about 9 years ago. At the time, my husband was away at Bowling Green University, and his parents were in a different state on vacation. I was ready to go to bed in his room, made sure to close both sliding doors of the closet, shut the blinds, close the bedroom door before turning off the lights. Well, sometime throughout the night, I woke up and not only were the lights on, but the closet doors were both pulled to the middle
Cool.
and the bedroom door was wide open. I tried getting up and I couldn't move. Ah, I don't
Well,
like that. Okay. At this point, I was trying to figure out if I didn't close all the doors and just fell asleep with the lights on, which didn't make sense as I could never fall asleep with the closet doors open. And when I noticed the man in the hallway,
cool.
ooh, no, no. I watched as he walked slowly into the room and was praying he wouldn't notice me under the covers. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. He slowly made his way over to the bed and stared at me for what felt like an eternity. Eventually, he stood straight and walked away out of the room. When I finally came to and was fully awake and could actually move, I noticed lights were off, the bedroom and closet doors were closed shut, and of course, I got up quickly and changed and left. I would too and never sleep in that house again.
Yeah.
Okay. The next, I assumed that was going to be followed with, and then I burned the house down, but no, it wasn't. Um, the next story is back when I was in high school. I decided to take a nap after school, and once again, I made sure the closet and bedroom doors were closed. Something woke me up, and I found myself not being able to move. I didn't notice anything weird at first until my closet doors started to open, and I could see something moving and starting to come out through the tiny crack. And then to my left, I felt as I was being watched. Although terrified of whatever was coming out, I slowly shifted my eyes to the left of the room, and sitting on my futon facing me were three entities, all black. Their eyes were blacked out, and I started to feel myself panic as they started to stand up. I'm not sure exactly what fully happened next, as my dad started pounding on my bedroom door and I jolted up, freaking out. Looking around my room, I could see I was alone and my closet doors were closed. My dad never pounded on my door like that before or ever again, but I am thankful that he did that day as it helped me escape and fully wake up. Amelia.
Wow.
Wow. Amelia, I do not love any of that. I'm going to hard pass on ever going to either one of those houses because yikes. But I don't like three of them watching. I don't like that multiplication.
Yeah, that's amplification. That's definitely
Now,
yeah, sleep paralysis is a odd thing that we're still learning more and more about, that it does seem to feel like that where you're being watched and you see the person watching you and all that. That is a phenomena, but I also think that maybe you do have some sort of presence there. I agree with you 100% about having to sleep with the closet door closed because I have to do that too. That's an old Appalachian folk story. You keep the closets closed because you don't know what's there. And also, you don't sleep with your mirrors uncovered in a room with mirrors. You have to cover them up in case you die in your sleep. You don't want to get stuck in the mirror. So,
I agree with all these things. One thing that I started kind of wondering about, and I promise not to go on too much of a tangent here, but I started wondering if there, you know how like people say that place between sleep and awake?
mhm.
I kind of wonder if there's a perception level between sleep and awake where you're able to see things that are like we talk about how cats can see things and animals
Yep.
can see and perceive things. And I just wonder if there's a, I don't know what to call it, other than a perception level between when you're fully awake and fully asleep, wherein you can potentially see things that are in that space. That's a whole theory I have now. Like, is there a level of perception that you have so that it's kind of like when you have heightened senses, you know, like when a sense is taken away, your other senses compensate for it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
I don't know.
we
It's a
we've
whole
discussed that science is weird and we don't
yeah.
understand. It's preternatural. We could be seeing things that might be blending in from someplace else, a glitch in the matrix style or parallel universe or quantum theory of some sort. Who knows?
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
uh, Amelia, thanks for those stories. And it was pleasure meeting you at Mothman.
Yes, we
And
hope to see you again this next year if you come.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully. So, all right,
Okay.
moving on. Hello, hello.
Hello.
I met and talked with you at your booth at the Old Green Eyes Festival, and I told you an experience my parents had, and you told me to also email this story to you. Thank you, you did, because like I said, I had a spell, so I don't remember that.
I was gonna say, Mark, it's great they did since you
Yep,
probably didn't remember that happening.
yep. So back in 96, 97, my parents had went to visit a friend of my dad's. He lived in an unincorporated community in Gordon County, Georgia. It's not far from Johns Mountain, where he'd been hunting. He told my dad he had killed a coyote, but he wanted him to come see it. My mom went with him, and they both said when they seen it, it was the biggest coyote they'd ever seen. My dad's hunted and killed coyotes, but him and my mom both said that it didn't look like a coyote because its fur wasn't grayish or yellow brown like a normal coyote. This one had solid black fur and was a lot bigger. My dad said its head was as big as a dinner plate. He doesn't spook easy and doesn't believe in the supernatural or paranormal, but hearing him describe it and seeing the look on his face, I knew he was spooked. He said he didn't know what it was, but it didn't look like a coyote to him. He said it looked more like a wolf or a wolf hybrid or something. He'd never seen anything that strange in his life until he'd seen that. Amanda.
Well, just got chills. And
Yeah.
second of all, it sounds like somebody killed the dog man.
I don't know about that. It might have been a wolf hybrid or a wolf. They are out there and they are coming into areas. But sadly, that means they're releasing some and they might have wandered. And that means you might have killed a wolf, which would be sad in that area because they're not common in that area or even
Yeah.
supposed to be there. So that's why always as a hunter, be careful. But that said, yeah, he might have got something that spooked him. That a hunter tends to know wolves and coyotes,
That's
something
why I
like
was
that.
saying him to get spooked. That's the reason I went, what was this? Maybe
Yeah,
anyway. But that sounds not pleasant. But Amanda, thank you for sharing because
yeah.
otherwise Mark would have never told me that story because he
That's
wouldn't have heard
why
it.
when I talk to you folks, and then you go, "Oh, Mark forgot me." Yeah, my brain has trouble making new memories, so I'm good
Yeah.
with this old stuff, but new stuff's a little tricky. All right.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah. Thanks, Amanda.
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to say something else. I wasn't sure.
Oh,
I didn't. Okay, here we go. Mark and Erica.
hi.
Hi. They said that with an exclamation mark. So I was
Exclamation.
okay.
Oh
Mark
man.
and Erica. Like, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
I got a spooky treat for you all. Ooh,
Ooh.
okay, maybe I don't want this. We'll see. Okay. A little backstory. To help understand the significance of what happened, my brother was last of my immediate family, parents, and siblings. We were 4 years apart, but we've always been close. He had diabetes and was awful at self-care. His partner, 20 years, was a drug addict alcoholic and also awful at self-care, which meant she wasn't much help to my brother. We didn't visit much due to LA traffic being brutal, plus my brother was great at diversion.
Mm,
Well, I'm sorry to hear all of those things.
yeah.
I began getting a bad feeling and visit him regardless of his excuses. I ended up stepping in to assist in his care. He had neuropathy in both feet. No, did I say that wrong?
No, you got neuropathy. That's right.
Okay. He had neuropathy in both feet and open wounds on both. Oh, yikes.
Ugh.
I brought doctors to his home who immediately admitted him to the hospital. While he's in the hospital, his partner OD'd and passed away in his home.
Wow.
Oh, gosh. This is when he gave up. He had a stroke and never left the hospital skilled nursing. I
Yeah.
visited every week. He was now on hospice. His favorite food was bacon. My favorite food is bacon, so I understand that.
Yep.
I met with his medical team often and expressed that he should be given bacon daily. I requested 4 pieces a day at a minimum. He was dying. We both felt at this point bacon should be a staple in his diet.
Yep.
It was difficult and a constant struggle to make it happen. You're a good sister to make sure you had bacon all the time. I love that. Mark,
Yeah.
I'd say remember that for the future for me, but tell Carrie so she'll remember it for the
Yes, I
future.
remember. Write it down somewhere. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. He was on a steady decline and slept almost all of the time. When he was awake, he was non coherent and hallucinated. He passed in his sleep about 4 months later. They called me at 11:30 PM to let me know he was gone. It was bittersweet. I spoke to him and said aloud, "You're finally free, Gary. Thank you so much. Say hi to mom and dad for me, and please let me know you're okay." The following morning, my cat Oreo, oh my gosh, I already adore you. I don't know who you are, but I adore you. Cat named Oreo. The following morning, my cat Oreo woke me up meowing to be fed as usual. I did notice, however, that he seemed louder and more demanding. I got up and followed him to the kitchen. When we reached the kitchen, my eyes filled with tears and I began to laugh. The entire kitchen was filled with the aroma of fresh bacon. I hadn't
Oh,
cooked bacon in months and didn't have any in the fridge. I knew it was my brother letting me know he was okay. Bacon also happens to be Oreo's favorite treat. I thanked my brother and grabbed my keys. Now I need to go to the store and get some bacon for Oreo. I hope to see him on the other side, David. Oh, I just got
oh,
chills and tingles. David, first of all, I'm terribly sorry for your loss. That is horrible, but
oh, yeah.
that story is so sweet. And I love that. And I love that your cat Oreo was involved in that story. That is so amazing.
Yeah, that's incredible. Oh my gosh, David. What
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, it was letting you know. And that's people like, "Oh, it's an apparition, it's this, it's that." No, sometimes it can be a smell. Sometimes it can be a wonderful thing like that, and just
Or a
letting you know,
sound. Sometimes it's a music or something like
or just a
I
feeling.
yeah,
Sometimes it is just that feeling. So,
I love that. David, thank you so much for sharing that, and I am sure you will see him on the other side
yeah,
with bacon.
yeah. I just did,
Yes.
bacon in the oven for the first time in a while, and I did it with some brown sugar. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's
Oh, that sounds delightful. I found gluten-free, puff pastry, and I made little puff pastries with bacon and apples and honey.
ooh,
It was very yummy the other day.
oh, good
I'm
stuff.
gonna
Alright.
I'm on a baking tear, so that happens, but
Yeah,
thank
nope,
you.
not going
Okay.
down a bacon rabbit hole, not going down a bacon rabbit hole, I'm
No,
sorry.
I could though, for many hours.
I could we that's an episode. We'll have to do
Yes,
bacon folklore like we did the bees. We'll do that.
yes.
Alright. At work this AM, I went upstairs to get a spoon. As soon as I got to the mezzanine level, it is a 20-story condominium in Bonita Springs on the bay. I heard, like, scurrying noises, like when people scrambled to hide. But this is at 6:30 AM, and no one is here working but me, and only 13 units are occupied at the moment. So I quickly grab spoons and I see a tissue in the hallway and pick it up. Even as I'm writing this, I'm getting this strange sensation. And I heard from the billiard room. I just picked up my pace and started to sing Yes, Jesus Loves Me as I walked down the stairs. And the more I walked, the colder and more chilled I got until I had a pit in my stomach and I couldn't leave my desk. Even now, I'm hiding in the laundry room. LOL. My first day at work, I felt dead people around me, and then I looked at my map. There is a cemetery, plus people have passed away, former residents. I've had stuff happen here, but this morning made me actually want to quit. Anonymous. Well,
Yikes.
Anonymous, I hope you got safer at work, and I hope you had some rest, and I hope you got out of the laundry room. I'd like a follow up.
I would like a follow-up as well, but it also sounds to me like you need to walk in and set some boundaries
Yep.
and just let whatever ghostly residents or spiritual residents or whatever they are know that you're there to work. They're not to interrupt you. They are welcome to do whatever it is they're doing as long as they don't get in your way or affect what you're doing. Just go in and state it verbally if you have to. And if it starts happening, just go, you're violating the rules.
Yep.
Yep.
And worst case, get some protection when you gotta go to work. It sounds like something's letting you know they're there, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't hurt just have something that intention is everything, something you feel is comfortable singing about Jesus. If that helps you, great. And yeah, we know it works. We know it
Or
works.
a cross if
Yep.
that's what you believe in, whatever representation
Mhm.
would be great. Um, okay,
All right.
let
Let's do one more for a break. Go for it.
I like it. Here we go. Greetings, travelers.
Greetings.
Greetings. I just had my first unexplained paranormal experience here in the Appalachian Mountains. You all warned me, but I didn't listen. I I have not even started on the story, and I want to throw out and I told you so. But
Uh,
let's see where this goes.
yep.
I was sitting in my sunroom when I suddenly heard screaming outside. A woman's voice screaming, help me, somebody please help me." She sounded desperate, like pure terror in her voice. My heart jumped and it sent chills through me. I jolted to the edge of my seat and listened again to see if I'm really hearing something. Then the sound changed. It sounded like a dog attacking a cat. I heard barking and a cat scream. Then I'm thinking a stray dog is killing my neighbor's cat or something. I
Ugh.
immediately felt urgency to run to see what was going on and how I can help. That wasn't included in the story. That's an Erica Nope sigh coming out. Okay. I rushed to the door, opened it to see what was happening. The very second I stepped outside, everything went completely silent. No voices, no animals, no footsteps.
Whoa.
Yep, you violated the rule. Okay, an empty street and a quiet night, like the sound itself just cut off. The sudden silence was the weirdest part because even as I was turning the handle, I heard the dog and cat screaming right outside of our house. Like it sounded literally in our backyard. You'd think I'd be terrified all over again, realizing it's nothing, but I felt an instant relief. Thank God no one was dying at the moment, and I'm not dressed to run outside and save someone. Several emojis with a few. Just quietly closed, bolted the door, and now I'm I know to listen to my inner that was wild, Lydia. Yes, Lydia and travelers out there, you guys might all think I'm nuts, but
No,
I am correct most of the time when it comes to this stuff. So I love that, Lydia. Definitely listen to your inner Erica. And here's the thing, somebody might need help, but grab the phone and peek out the window, right?
yep.
Because, you know, that and with it changing, it was more like, well, that sound of help didn't work. Let me try something else from whatever that was outside your door.
That's
Well,
exactly what it sounded like. It's just something trying to get your attention, and it tried one way, that didn't work, so it went another way. Now, the sound of a, dog attacking a cat, that could be any kinda animal, especially out here in the Appalachians. There's, bobcats sound like that. We just saw a bobcat the other day when we were on our way to film a thing with Small Town Monsters, where
yeah.
they were in the middle of nowhere Airbnb, and a bobcat jumped across the road in front of us, and Carrie had never seen one in the wild, and she's like, "Is that a cat?" And then it jumped, and she's like, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, "Yep, that's a bobcat." They make some wild noise out here.
They
So,
do. But,
but the dead
here's the
silence, that's what gets me. That means a predator of some sort was nearby. The
yeah,
animals
and
know
a
that.
fairly large one too, because, but it's interesting to me because if you hear something that loud, and even if you open the door and it startles whatever is in the middle of the commotion, right? Regardless if it's a bobcat or whatever, you would then hear the noise of the sprinting away or the scrambling away or whatever. But when it goes totally silent, like, nope, nope, nope,
Yeah,
nope, nope, nope,
yeah,
nope.
that's something up, something
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Exactly. So,
And with that, I guess we'll take a
yeah.
quick break and we'll be right back.
All right, we're here.
We're here. And
Uh,
wow,
wow.
Lydia, again,
Yeah.
you got me reeling, girl.
I'm picturing now we have, Erica on one shoulder and me on the other shoulder, and I'm telling people, "Go look for the spooky thing," and you're doing the, "No, no, no, be safe." So, I don't know which of us is the devil or the angel, but that's what I'm picturing.
I can completely clarify in that situation, you are the devil. Because I wouldn't be like, no, no, no. I'd be like, nope, stop
Yeah.
right. I'm not going with you. You step out this door. You're with Mark.
Yeah. Oh, man. No, I mean, well, Good Omens, yeah, I definitely ally with Crowley a little better. Although I do have the books like Azrael, so I don't know. Although
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there was just real quick. Arthur Miller, who wrote The Crucible, the famous play about the witch trials, he wrote one called About the Creation of the World, and
Okay.
it's basically God and the devil in a couple scenes, chatting about the creation of the world, and it's hysterically funny, and,
Okay.
highly recommend that one. That's one most people don't know about. It's one of those classics, unsung, but there's a great bit where Lucifer's talking to God, and he's like, "Look, I just have to talk to you about something. You have to give them some interest in sex. Otherwise, it's going to be 1,000 years before you're a grandfather." Right now he's kissing a tree. It's just and then he's like, and God's like, no, no, no. And he's like, no, look, look, you made that fish with the fur on it. We got this is like that situation again. And God's like, no, they're perfect. I
Oh
was like,
my
so that alone will tell you a little bit of how fun that is. All right, sorry, tangent. Let's get back to the stories.
Yep, Mark, it's your turn.
All right. I reached out last year about a series of strange encounters at my home. Mark got me through to a team and they were awesome. Well, yay. See, that's what I do, and that's what we do. No more issues there, but this happened on my recent run. I was hauling a load through northwestern Minnesota late one night in 2024, cruising down I 94 with nothing but static on the radio and the hum of my rig for company. The road was empty. It was just me, the asphalt, and the kind of silence that makes you feel like the world is holding its breath. Oh, I like how you wrote that. That's when I saw it. At first, I thought it was a big wolf, a big one maybe. But as I got closer, I realized this thing was taller than waist high at the back, built like it had been bench pressing grizzly bears. Its rear end was broad and muscular, and its legs, hell, I still don't even know how to describe them right. They had this three-part like structure, like joints that didn't belong on any animal I'd ever seen. Each leg angled back, then forward again, ending in a long, flat foot that almost looked human shaped, and all four legs were like that. It moved across the highway in this strange, deliberate gait, low to the ground, but not slinking, more like it was built to move that way. I slowed down, watching it in my headlights, and then it stopped and turned to face me. And that's when things got real weird.
That's when things got real weird. This is already real world. No, reverse, back it up, or running it over. Those are my two options right now.
Okay, its face was bald, not just hairless, just flat. No nose, just smooth skin where one should have been. And the mouth, it looked human, too human. Wide, expressive, slightly twisted on one side like it had been injured or born wrong. High set ears twitched as it stared at me, and its eyes were normal eyes, not glowing or beastly. It just looked back like it was sizing me up, but not afraid. I sat frozen in my cab, engine idling, heart thudding like a drum solo. The creature didn't flinch, didn't snarl, just stood there, scraggly light brown hair rippling in a breeze, legs like a panda's hindquarters, paused long enough to make me wonder if I could just stand upright if it wanted to. It crossed the road slowly, never breaking eye contact. And when it reached the other side, it paused again, turned its bald, noseless face toward me one last time. And I saw the eyebrows then, thick and dark, framing those long, wide eyes. And then it vanished into the trees. I don't know what I saw that night. Not a wolf, not a bear, not anything I'd ever seen in a biology book or a roadside zoo. Cryptid, mutant, something else entirely. All I know is I've driven that stretch of highway a dozen times since, and I keep my eyes peeled just in case. I'm not sure where to report this, so here it is, Eerie travelers. Brian.
Well, Brian, I'm from Minnesota and never driving up there again. Thank you. Um, I have no idea what that is, and it sounds like it yeah. Well, do we have any teams up there, Mark, that we can send out if they wanna take a stab at looking for something like that?
Yeah, I'd like to know exactly where in Minnesota. So hopefully, Brian, you reach out. and let me know exactly where. Just reply. We'd love to know so I could send a team. But that could be some sort of critter. I mean, it could definitely be something that just is sick or gangly. But it sounds like you know what you're talking about. Looking at animals
It
like that.
it didn't sound sick or gangly, it
No,
sounds weird.
it sounded like a predator of some sort. Definitely some, like you said, cryptid mutant, something else. I think we're on the something else there. I think this is something that might be brought to that area for reasons like we've discussed, where things are summoned and not let go. I think that
Yeah.
might be along those lines. I would love to talk to like some Ojibwa or some of the other tribe up there, see if they know something about that. Again, if you can just narrow it down a little bit so that we can research that a little bit, I this is something I'd love to look more into. That
Mark likes
sounds
finding
freaky.
weird cryptids, so send us all the information you possibly can, and then Mark will go down the rabbit hole, and I will sit at home with my leftovers and eat those.
That's true, that's true, but Brian, thanks so much for that, and all our truckers out there, we have a lot of truck driver friends that reply to us and message us. Thank you guys so much. We love all you do, and thanks for keeping this country running. So,
Yes, yes, because without truckers, we'd be in a world of hurt, so thank you
yeah.
guys.
Yep. No, 10-4, good buddies. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay. Hello to my favorite podcasters from yet another Brit traveler. Well,
Ah,
hello and good day. I shouldn't do
hello,
that.
Captain
I'm
Pond.
really sorry.
Yes. That was
Oh,
terrible, Erica.
oh, I do love accents though. So anyone who
Yeah.
knows me knows I love it. So that was not done with any disdain, but jealousy. Okay, here we go. I love listening to everyone's experiences and tales, and today I've had my very first experience of my own with a
Yay.
terrified emoji face. I didn't have anyone else to tell who would care for my strangeness, so bear with me. I hope others will appreciate it.
All right.
Okay. So I've recently started collecting very specific Disney Lego sets. I had about 8 different ones and ordered the final ninth one last week. According to the tracking, it was to arrive Monday or Tuesday, but didn't. Tuesday, I vacuumed out my car, took some shopping bits and bobs, and I had in there inside, so it was nice and clean again. Wednesday, I arrive home from the shops at 12:29 p.m., jump out of the car and see a tiny green Lego piece on my floor mat. Weird. I have no idea how that could have gotten there. Usually I throw out the extra pieces. Don't throw out the extra pieces. Ugh. Anyway,
Mm.
take it inside and put it on my Lego shelf. Fast forward to 12:59 p.m. I heard the postal lady pull into my driveway. I go to greet her and she has my Lego package. Yay. I
Hey.
take the package inside, start building it. Now, this set was secondhand and it's very rare and retired now. I noticed there are quite a few missing pieces, but it's part of the scene. So there are a few couple of individual builds which I don't care for. I only wanted the main part and the character figurine. So tell me why I'm building the main part and I'm missing a tiny green piece. It's not a super common piece. It's actually quite an odd shape, but it's the exact piece I found on my floor mat 20 minutes prior to the package even being delivered. I just went, checked my security cameras to make sure I didn't get the times wrong or something, but watched myself walk to the door, fingers pinched together, holding a green piece at 12:29, and the post lady come at 12:59. I have to stay anonymous. I don't want X or his liaison to be after me. Also, my wife would kill me for putting our name out there. Anonymous.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I love that, and it sounds like you have a little fairy friend going, "Here, you're gonna be missing this." I
Yeah.
love that so much. That
Yeah.
is a great experience,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I was
X and
definitely
liaison
bit
are not gonna be interested in this story, just so you
yeah.
feel safe, because Mark has already pissed them off with the UFO episode, so I'm just waiting on the next email from them.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure it's coming. But, no, I don't think that was a glitch in the matrix. I agree with Eric. I think somebody brought you a present knowing you were gonna need it. And,
Yeah.
again, we don't know how time works for them, if that's the theory. So it's
Or it was you in a parallel dimension going,
yeah,
"This really frustrated the crap out of me, so here."
to stop the apocalypse from traveling in time to make sure you have that one piece for that Lego set. So,
I
This
love
is
that. And anonymous, if you wanna send pictures to us of those Legos, I'd love to see what you've created. I think that's fantastic. Don't throw away extra pieces. Get a
yeah,
little box, put all the extra pieces in the box, save it, you never know when you're gonna need them.
that's true. That's true. We used to use Legos to build, for Dungeons& and Dragons. That was instead of buying miniatures and building all those terrains, those fancy terrains, we use Legos. Work great.
Yeah, well, that's also before all the cool stuff has come out when we
Yeah,
did
that's true. Yeah.
when we didn't have quite the 3D generated stuff that you can do now, and we had to make crap up as we went along, so, yep,
All right.
I love it, thank
Right,
you.
thanks, anonymous, and don't worry, your wife doesn't know anything about it. We just have UK person who collects Legos. I'm sure there are millions of you, so it could be anybody.
When you tell her excitedly, "We read your story on the show," like you just probably did,
Yeah,
that's when she's gonna find out
that
what you
she's
did,
gonna figure it
so,
out, gonna figure it out,
yeah,
and yeah, ex liaison, don't bother this guy, he got me. All
yeah,
right.
he's got Legos.
Yeah, yeah, I got Legos too, so all right. All right, so this next one is technically a two-parter,
Okay,
'cause I got this one, and, I'm gonna read the first part, and I want you to read the second part, Erica,
okay.
because it's a boyfriend-girlfriend duo.
Oh,
So, all right, my girlfriend and I were driving back to the cabin we rented in Hocking Hills, Ohio in July of 2025. Love that area.
mhm.
We were on our way back from visiting a local dark sky park there. Reason why I love it. Hocking Hills is an incredibly scenic area with rolling hills and winding roads. At night, it is incredibly dark and difficult to drive due to the sharp turns and frequent hills. You never know what's going to be over the next hill or around the next turn. Yep. As we came over the top of a small hill heading into a tiny main town there, I am suddenly startled by an old woman bent over in the middle of the road right in front of the old church. I slam on my brakes to slow down, and I notice she stands up and begins to wave as if she needs help. As soon as I register this, the hand she's waving above her head and her arm kind of morphs seamlessly into the head of a deer.
Ah! Mm.
Yep.
No, no,
As her whole
no.
person suddenly transforms into an entire deer. The deer's eyes reflect in my headlights, and then it goes off running into the woods. I was shocked and scared as hell. I looked at my girlfriend, who was clearly terrified and shaken, who then says, "Did you see that lady in the road? What just happened?" I tried to rationalize this as some wild optical illusion, but we both saw it. The lady was bent over and waved to us as if in distress. She was like luring us in or something, and then just immediately shape shifted into this deer and ran off. It gives me chills thinking about it now. Has anyone else seen anything like this before? Is this a not deer? Glenn. So, wow. All
I
right.
I don't want to read this next.
All right. Well, if you
No,
don't
I'll
want
read
to,
it,
I'll
but
keep
still.
going. But all right.
Okay.
Before we answer Glenn, because I have a theory on this, but
I actually do too, but I think it's the same theory, so I'll
probably,
read the other story, and then you go
probably,
first.
I don't think Glenn and his girlfriend know what we're. It's kind of, it's not obscure, but it's obscure enough. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I
Go, Glenn.
agree.
Go
Yeah.
the next part.
"Hi, Glenn's girlfriend here." Well, hello, Glenn's
Oh,
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
I definitely saw the same thing. What I remember of it, the woman seemed to have medium length, grayish blonde hair. She was crouched down in a squat position and seemed to have her back to us, but just was turned around looking towards us with a hand waving in the air. It felt like she needed help or was in distress, and there was a sense she was beckoning us, but also feeling something bad was happening. She seemed to be unclothed or maybe holding on to a blanket or something. It was also strange because from further away she seemed younger, but as we got closer, she began to look older. I'm not sure if it was just my eyes playing tricks on me or maybe she was changing before our eyes. I don't recall a particular expression on her face, which was a strange feeling. We stopped abruptly at first, but as we started approaching again, all of a sudden she seemed to morph into a deer with antlers. The feeling was similar to seeing a shadow puppet of a dog on a wall and then having the shadow revealed to be simply a pair of hands, except it was a whole person turning into a deer. It was quite unsettling, and we were both rattled by the end of the drive. Lisa. Well, Lisa and Glenn. Mark,
Holy
you
cow.
say what you think, but I first of all, I just wanna clarify, it's not a not deer.
No, not a not deer. They're a little different, and also we think they're a tulpa of some sort, but I immediately go deer lady.
Yep, that's
Yep.
exactly what my thought was, is that
Yep.
there is, a native or
Got
indigenous.
Cherokee, the Choctaw, Shawnee, even Apache all talk about the deer lady. They've got great history with this figure of not mythology, but their history.
Yeah, it's part of their history. It's not a
And
folklore or
she's just as
storytelling.
natural as everything else, and,
Yeah.
usually a disgruntled lover of some sort that made a deal with something and turned into a half woman, half deer, usually out for vengeance, like a vengeance demon. Erica loves a vengeance spirit because they usually help those who have been wronged by jilted lovers or people who cheated on them and stuff like that. There's a great TV show, Reservation Dogs. They had a few episodes about the deer woman that were really well done. So
Wow. Yeah, no,
I love we
I
both
think
went
that's
there.
what it is, and I don't know that it's necessarily bad. She may have been stopping you from something else that was
Yeah.
coming or headed, like, I from what I understand, and I am nowhere near the expert even,
No,
we're not experts, but I'm nowhere
no,
near as knowledgeable as Mark is on this topic. But I don't think she always is, symbolizing something not great like
no,
Spearfinger does.
no. She also helps. Yeah, she's there to protect the people and stuff. Like I said, she's there to right wrongs and stuff like that. She might have been directing you guys away to help you.
Yeah,
And
and what you might have been perceiving may have been something else ominous that she was blocking so that she got it cleared so you could go along safely. So terrifying, and I will never drive up there at night, but it sounds like you actually had kind of a great experience and you should
yeah,
be happy for that.
that is an encounter that was we're thank you for documenting and sharing that with us. And thank you both. And yeah, and Hocking Hills, amazing place. Lots of Bigfoot stuff up there. So that area is active. There's stuff up there. So and
Wow.
dark sky territory, so it's a great place to watch UFOs too. So,
Wow.
all
So
right,
okay. Um
this next one's to you. Do you wanna read
it
it?
is to me. I'm gonna jump in and take it because it is
Okay,
to me.
all right.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
and, Lisa Glenn, thank you
Oh,
so
yeah,
much
thank you
for
guys so much.
sharing that. That
Again,
is amazing.
yep,
We love to hear experiences like that.
yep.
Okay,
Stay safe.
Erica, I had my first proof of a timeline switch today. Whoop, whoop, like it's in
Yay!
the Matrix. Okay, my friend called me furious that Xbox was finally relenting on giving up Halo as a franchise exclusive. The news didn't strike me because Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary was already released on PlayStation 3 console 3 years ago. It was. It absolutely was. I'll die on this hill. I've seen it, I looked it up, it never happened. Except I vividly remember in middle school during the Xbox 360 versus PS3 wars, we had Halo and we would gloat about it, except I remember the heart-sinking feeling and the feeling of betrayal when PlayStation got Combat Evolved. I felt like Halo had sold out. I've emotionally processed it. It's a core memory of mine. None of it ever happened. I can't explain it. James. Well, James, as Mark will say feverishly, she had braces.
Dolly had braces. Dolly had braces.
Where
But
Tom Cruise had sunglasses in risky business slide across the floor.
yeah,
I We will die on these hills, my friend, and welcome to being transported through dimensions.
yeah, no, I was a GameStop manager. And I don't that never happened, I'm afraid, in this universe. There was a couple Halo killers supposedly that didn't do well, like Killzone and a couple others that looked like Halo because PlayStation was trying to compete against Halo. Maybe that's a false memory of some sort. And it also came to PC about that time and it hadn't released on PC. So maybe that might be part of it too. There's a lot of things that could be, but if you have that core memory, glitch in the matrix, that's Mandela effect. You're right there. So
Yep. And here's the thing, don't doubt yourself because,
yeah,
I think one of the easiest things to do is immediately assume you remembered it wrong, but there is something there that we just don't understand because, with Mark, we jokingly say this a lot about our Mandela effects. These aren't the only ones we've experienced because me and Mark have processed very similar situations where we were like, what the heck? We remember it a very specific way. And it's not like this little fleeting memory, it's a core memory with us.
yep,
So it's, yes, welcome to the glitches in the matrix. I I
love it.
I hope one day Neil deGrasse Tyson explains this to me, but
Yep, yep. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, James, so much for that.
and thank you for listening.
Hopefully, we figure it out. Let me know. Did Dolly have braces? Hashtag Dolly have braces. All right.
Yes. And
Good.
Mark, I think we should do 2 more. You do one because it's a little long, and I will do the final one.
All right. That sounds good. That sounds good. And we've got more, gang. We'll just keep them coming. So,
Yeah.
all right. Hi, Eerie Travels. Hi.
Hi.
My girlfriend got me hooked on your show. Can you give her a greetings? Her name is Mel. Well, greetings, Mel.
Greetings, Mel.
Yeah. Welcome,
Thank you for
traveler.
getting your boyfriend hooked. This is
Yeah.
how you do it, one
Yeah.
significant other at a time.
Fine, we got this. We're gonna slowly take over the world this way. All right. Uh, anyway, she got me to send you my dad's story. A little backstory here because I feel it is relevant. My father, who passed in 2012, sorry for your loss, born in 8/21/68, was a very stoic man, not at all into the occult or paranormal, or did not speak of things like this other than this one event. We're from Mobile, Alabama, where part of the Civil War took place, and the house my father grew up in directly was land used for the Battle of Mobile Bay. Oh, wow. That's all right. I'm not going down that rabbit hole, Eric.
Oh, you're not.
All right. There are also sealed tunnels in and under a few houses in the historic district that are presumably old slave tunnels, including the house my father grew up in. My father never talked about ghosts and was very anti heebie jeebies. He was very quick to shut these things down if I mentioned something scared me. But he shared one story with me his entire life, maybe 2 or 3 times in total before he passed away, and would become overcome with emotions when talking about it. Worth mentioning to make it more cohesive, the layout. When you open the front door, there are stairs immediately on the right hand side, and on the left is a hallway that opens up to the living room. And at the end of the living room, bedrooms at the time, my grandparents' bedrooms at the time. On that hallway to the left were two archways with about 5 feet of wall in between them. That opened up into a family den with my granddad's study on the inside that had glass doors. Thank you for bearing with me up to this point. All right. The event. When my dad was around 10 to 12 years old, he was upstairs in his bedroom and woke up with a feeling of dread. And what he explained was pure despair and fear. So he got out of his bed and walked downstairs. About halfway down the stairs, he said he was having to force himself to keep walking because he was so afraid. He made it to the bottom of the stairs and he could see into the first archway. The den was itself dark, but the study lights were on. Inside the study, he saw a quote, man, but more like a shadow, completely devoid of anything, more like the absence of everything, entirely pitch black with zero definition other than the outline of a top hat on, standing in this study.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
He ran to the wall in between the archways with his back to the wall and said he could hear his heart beating in his ears and he was paralyzed with fear. After about a minute, he leaned over and looked into the den through the second archway and said that whatever that thing was had turned its entire body towards him. And he took off running down the hallway. This is about a week after his older sisters had played with a Ouija board in the house. I've looked this up since being told about it, and the quote, HatMan seems like a pretty common phenomenon. But there is no way my dad could have known this. He didn't have internet like that as a kid, didn't even know how to work an iPhone. really, even when I was older. He was a brilliant man, just not very tech savvy. I just don't know how he would have ever made this up. I'm sure someone you know has had a similar experience. When I was older, about 12, my mom, dad, and myself moved into this house after my granddad's passing for a month or two, and then had to leave for a little over a month while some work got done on the house. When we moved back in, the house felt entirely different. We had tons of crazy shit happen there, and I'd be happy to share if you're interested. Chuck. Wow.
Wow, Chuck. I'm interested, but it's so interesting because I feel like that the Hat Man is definitely something. It's it's something that people routinely run into. What's
Yeah.
interesting to me is that this happened as not a sleep thing. Like it's not associated with sleep paralysis, which is really weird. What do
Yeah.
you think, Mark?
No, I agree. I think there's definitely the Hat Man theory. I mean, it's the Hat Man. I think this is like Our Lady in White theory that it's just the way we perceive certain things appears as this Hat Man. Like
Yeah.
we see a lady in white, it's just because our eyes can't adjust to whatever color she really is. I think the shadow Hat Man is the same thing. We're perceiving something that comes across looking like that to our brain. And that's why we call him the Hat Man. And that's why we do this. I am, and then of course, Destiny did that wonderful song for Halloween where the Hat Man and the lady in white are dating. If you haven't listened to it, gang, pick it up. Dusty Beard's Bandcamp. We'll put the link as always in the.
Yes, and maybe if Mark's very tech savvy, he can add it to the end of our episode so you guys can hear it.
Oh, I could maybe do that. I'll ask her if we have permission to do that. Let's see.
Yeah,
So if
because I
not, Destiny's got it up on her site. So
yeah,
Destiny
we'll
Beard.
send a link so you can get it for yourself to have and to hold,
Yeah.
but maybe we can put a little bit of it at the end of our episode.
Yeah, because man, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful song and what an amazing experience. Chuck, thank you for sending that. I would love to hear the rest of your stuff. Please email us, reply. We want to hear more crazy stuff because that's what we
Yeah.
love.
Yes.
So, all right,
I
Erica, we're gonna go a little long, but let's take us out with this one. I I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm super
It's the first
excited
one
because
says to
it's
me.
another Mark person he dated. Hello, Mark.
No, no
Yes.
way.
This is why I wanted to do it. I just saw the first line and I was like, let's do it. Yeah. You dated my friend Athena back when you worked on Superforce.
Oh, hey, I
She
remember
sent me
Athena.
your show. I have to tell you my story. Do you remember her?
I remember Athena. I don't know who
Yeah.
her friend is. I think she had a roommate, so
No.
probably.
What is Superforce?
That was a TV show, a terrible, terrible TV show I worked on back in the 80s. The less said about it, the better. It was about an astronaut with a motorcycle that was a cop.
Okay.
So there you go.
Everybody needs to immediately go find this show and tell Mark what you think of it. Yes.
I was audio. That's all I can be blamed for. Although my roommate at the time was the guy who equipped all the bad guys and was a prop master on it. And I remember him and I shopping for laser tag guns at flea markets because you could make those into bad guy stuff for cheap. That's about the budget this show had, just to let you know.
Oh, sounds amazing.
And it was all filmed on the Universal backlot at Florida. So
Okay. So here we go. Um, you dated my friend Athena back when you worked on Superforce. She sent me your show. I have to tell you my story. When I was 24, 25, I'm 40 now. I was staying the night at my ex BF's house. He lived in a townhouse complex, and the halls and rooms were narrow. For some reason, I woke straight up from bed. He was sleeping beside me, totally knocked out. I stood up and walked out of the room towards the top of the stairs. It's hard to describe other than I just felt like I was being pulled there. I looked down the stairs, all the lights were on for some reason, and there was a man leaning over the railing with a weird, super wide smile.
mm,
Nope, 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 don't love that. He beckoned me with his hand to come down. I shook my head. Good, that's the appropriate response. And he started to get angrier, almost growling at me to come down. Then, when I backed away, he came running at me. I ran back to my BS room, hearing the man running behind me. I dove back into bed, and something glass shattered beside me like he had thrown something at me. My BF woke up and asked what the fuck I was doing and what broke. but there was nothing broken. We both looked, nothing. I told him what happened, and he said his sister had seen him too. I'll never forget his scary ass weird Cheshire cat grin. Rhonda.
Oh,
Oh, I
wow.
don't I don't love that.
Yeah. That's pretty rough. Holy cow.
Definitely don't love that at all.
Oh, Rhonda, that sounds like wow, that just sounds like something right out of the classic HatMan story or sleep paralysis story, but then the fact that the sister had seen it and the fact that the boyfriend heard the crash,
Yeah.
that makes it tangible. This is the evidence we look for. This is a story we look for. Multiple witnesses, same thing happening in the same location. I wanna get a team there so bad.
Well, yeah, and what's fascinating to me about this story is that it was beckoning and then chased her when she didn't comply with whatever it wanted.
Yep. That
I don't love that. I'm gonna nope out of that completely. So, no, no, no. No, no.
the, uh,
No, no,
the, uh,
no.
the
No, no.
unearthly grin, we've heard that a few times now.
Yes.
That seems to be something that, again, maybe our brain, our lizard brain, as you like to say, is interpreting it as a, "This is not right. This is not right." And, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we
it's
all have that
absolutely
fear.
not right. So, Rhonda, I love that you brought up yet another one of Mark's exes. It makes me very happy when those stories arrive. It's very funny to me. And with that, first, listeners, thank you so much for sending all
God,
these stories. We adore them. We look forward to seeing more of you into the events coming up in 2026. Our schedule is already starting to fill up. If there's an event you'd like us to be at, please send to the event people to reach out to us and let us know you want us there because we would love to be there. But check out our events page. And patrons, thank you for your continuing and undying support. We really, really appreciate it. It makes us feel all warm and fuzzy. For even $1, you can be one of our patrons and see all of our weird, fun stuff, which Carrie controls. So you guys get even more of Carrie on Patreon. And
yeah.
Mark, with that, can you take us away in a fun way that involves the things that one should not go chasing into the night?
Yeah, yeah. So again, thank you all for your support. Thank you, Patreon members. Oh my gosh, you guys always just help us keep going. And send your tales, eerietravels.com. Go to the contact us, drop it in the line. We'd love to hear more stories. We love this, gang. We've got so many to get through. We try our best to get back to you. If you don't want to be on the show, you just want some advice or something, we're happy to do that too. But oh my goodness, thank you all. So let's just go out of this. We're all reeling from wonderful stories. We're full of Thanksgiving leftovers, although our Brit friends just say happy Saturday. But all right. And when you're out there on the road and you're looking and you see that old lady beckoning, then her hand turns into a deer head. Take note, mark it down, document, document, document. And then when you get home and you go to bed, close the closet doors, turn off the lights, cover the mirrors, and say hello to the Hat Man and the Lady in White. And we'll see you on the other side.
Take my hand, my longing, our time is nearly here. Flesh and bone, the world untold, we are the ones they fear. Let the time the void that lies beneath, walking with your hand in mine, a sight for all to see. Let the night swallow us whole, slipping through our fingers. Dance with me till morning light, our souls will lead the way. So sit back, relax, my dear, for you've but little choice. Behold the scene of